There is a lot of looking towards the future, especially in the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So let's talk about it. What do you know, Jage? Who's going to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I mean, I don't have any inside information. I would assume the same as everybody else. It'll most likely be Aaron Rodgers.
Your head is 6'6" guy's head just kicked that earpiece out of your left ear there, said see you later. You think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback? Are you hearing anything from the inside sources?
No, I'm not. I'm literally not. But I would assume that seems to be the way that all directions are pointing.
Let's go to one half of the Hammer.
Don
Cowboys, currently residing in Hammer.
Don.
AP Tone. Tone, any Pittsburgh Steelers insider questions for J.J. Watt? Because he certainly has information. This is going to be like an A.J. Hawk type scenario, but let's see how he dances.
Yeah, I almost regret asking this because it has been so quiet, and I don't want people to talk about it. But there is still the contract looming out there. TJ's got 1 year left on his contract. Is there any update on that situation?
You don't need to regret anything. It's okay.
All right.
I made a mistake.
I mean, it's a television show. It's fun.
Coming
you guys
coming off the bench here. I haven't talked in 30 minutes. You got to get it out.
Sorry. Good segment. Good segment.
Okay. Whoa! He regretted something.
Sorry, no, I do. I mean, I have a lot of information on that subject. That's not my subject to discuss.
Okay, so you are JJ, not TJ.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you should be the one speaking on TJ's situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's talk about defensive ends and quarterback tacklers as a whole then.
Okay.
Because TJ's probably seeing the same thing. We won't make you say it. We will say the things that we assume TJ has seen in the situation that TJ is currently in. TJ, obviously, I think going into the last year of his contract, very much below what the current market is, especially for the best pass rushers in all of football. Myles Garrett just cracked open, a vault in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a Cleveland move to pay top money, maybe over money, for their pillar players. If they think they're a pillar player or know they're a pillar player, this has been Haslam's move. $40 million for Myles Garrett. Now, we know you probably wouldn't have retired if you knew that $40 million a year was possible for the defensive end position.
Correct.
So I will speak that for you. But everybody else that got paid this offseason, huge numbers. Teague down there towards the bottom of the money, let alone the guaranteed money left on contracts. Trey Hendrickson down there at the bottom as well. Trey Hendrickson's story is much louder than TJ's story because Trey Hendrickson has come out and said, hey, you've kicked the can down the road 3 years now, basically, with me. Either pay me or trade me is kind of his messaging at Super Bowl. Since then, there's still been no conversation. Ownership of the Bengals said sometimes some of these players just need to be happy with what they got. And Trey Hendrickson says, what are we talking about?
Excuse me?
Well, I'm literally the sack king. So whenever you see this market happening, and then obviously you have family involved in this type of situation that is brewing, and then you see what's happening with Trey Hendrickson, a man who I assume you know and get along with well. What are your thoughts on it? And how do you think it all ends up kind of settling out?
I've long been a big believer that ownership and front offices obviously treat this like a business, but they do not like it when the players flip the script on them and treat it like a business back. Taking care of your guys earlier does a few things for you. Number one, it gets them locked in at a lower price in the long run. I mean, you look at what prices are doing every single year, you get them locked in at a lower price. Number two, you're keeping them happy. Because even now, let's say, look at Trey Hendrickson's situation. Let's say they pay him now. Now there's all this resentment, there's all this animosity, and $40 million or whatever it is cures a whole lot of that, and he's going to act like everything is great and everything is wonderful. But you just went through a whole bunch of time where there was some disrespect, where there's some hurt feelings, and now you're going to go back into a building, act like everything's okay. If you take care of things early, especially when players want to take care of things earlier and say that they'll take less money to take care of things earlier because it sets themselves up long-term financially, do that. Because if you don't do that, that's when the problems start to arise, and now all of a sudden you say, hey, we have to kick this can down the road because of the way everything's working out. You kick the can down the road, the can gets a whole lot bigger. And then the player says, well, the can's a lot bigger now, fill it up. And you don't want to fill it up because you say, well, we have to pay all these other guys, we have to take care of these other things. It's like, well, I wanted to fill the can way back down here when it was a little soup can. Now we got ourselves a garbage pail.
Hey, that's on you. Hey, that's on the situation, the amount of risk involved in it all. Because if you're willing to take less earlier, there's a reason you're willing to take less, because it's setting you up for comfort. There's something else coming alongside of it. But if you're going to make me take the risk of playing this entire thing, potentially ending my career, potentially getting an injury, potentially whatever the case is, and then that means the other thing, the comfort has been very low. So there is a fee for the comfort here. That is literally how business goes.
Exactly. And we've seen Trey say it publicly. The team says that they're going to talk to you early in the year. We're going to get this thing done. We just let us get through this season, and then we'll make sure we take care of it early. And then you come early in the offseason and you say, hey, let's take care of this. We said we were going to do this early. You said we was going to all be. All of a sudden it's crickets. All of a sudden it's silence. Or it's, hey, we have to get through the combine. Hey, we have to get through free agency. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We talked about last year. You said if we kicked the can down the road, we were going to take care of it. We're not taking care of it.
Yeah, the resentment's a real deal. That's just like Myles Garrett. Everybody was like, Myles Garrett said all those things about wanting to win and not just being a highly paid player or whatever. And then they're like, well, $40 million can make up for it. It's like, it can. I think obviously $40 million, having satin sheets in a massive log cabin probably over there in Cleveland can certainly help out. But inevitably, he's going to have to lay his head down at night whenever things aren't going well and be like, was this the right decision? We saw it Tyreek down in Miami. Tyreek takes a massive payday from the Miami Dolphins as opposed to potentially less money in Kansas City. Tyreek's certainly worthy of the money. I'm not saying he wasn't, but there came a point now where he's like, I would like to win some games and get back in meaningful football. So there's always a fine balance in your decision making. But anytime people sacrifice comfort and make people risk, there's going to be a fee that comes alongside of that. That's why what the Philadelphia Eagles did with Saquon Barkley this year, they just re-upped him out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere for us. We got a text literally like, hey, Saquon might be getting a new deal. And I'm like, Saquon? Didn't he have like 2 years, 3 years left on his deal? They're like, yeah, they just want to kind of compensate him for what he did for the team early and let him know. It's like you tell the whole locker room, like, hey, if you do the right shit here and you perform for us, we're going to pay you. You have Saquon locked in now for 3 years, whatever, happy that he got paid big in the long run. And then you also give a message to your fan base like, hey, we invest into people that do good shit here. It's like, it's such a good thing to do.
It's also a conversation that we've seen start to bubble up a little bit about cash-rich ownership versus cash-poor ownership, and who has the ability to pay big money up front and lay it out over void years on the back end versus other owners who can't afford to put that money in escrow at the moment right now. That's a conversation I know that they're seeing at the league level that they're trying to start to find a solution to, because there's teams and there's ownership that has the ability to do some incredible things from a contract standpoint that other teams literally can't do.
You hit the nail on the head, too. Like, it's bigger than just that player. That message to the locker room, like, that's a big deal, especially for a guy like Trey Hendrickson, who has been everything, not only on the field, but off the field as far as character. He's done everything right. You talked about Saquon. Buffalo did it with Josh Allen, giving him a brand-new deal with, I think, 2 or 3 years left on his deal, and it just says, hey, you do the right things, we're going to take care of you, continue to do it, and you'll fall in line. Philly, not only Saquon, they signed AJ, Devontae, I think Malata,
Zach Bond
got a new deal. Yep. Zach Bond got rewarded for his year. So, like, hey, you show
Sirianni.
up. And to JJ's point, take care of it early. Yeah. 2 years down the line, it's going to be a completely different ballgame.
It's a perfect point. You're sending a message to the locker room. If you handle your business, if you do your job, we will take care of you. I look at the Texans with Nico Collins. His deal right now looks like one of the best deals in football because they took care of him early. He played well. They saw what he was doing. They took care of him early. Now they take care of Derek Stingley early. Next year, they're going to have to worry about C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. Yep. They'll take care of them. It's just one of those things where if you show the locker room, do things the right way, we'll pay you, all of a sudden your culture handles itself. Yep. Because nobody in the locker room's in a corner talking about, I wonder if they're going to pay him. Are they not going to pay him? Everybody's just like, oh, wow, this place treats us good. We should treat them good in return.
What is the big issue, trying to deem who's worthy of being a pillar person? Because you're paying your pillars. Because whenever you lock into those big deals, it's like, hey, we got to manage this contract over the next 4 years. Even if it's less than what it would have been in 2 years from now, it's still a big contract that we just gave to somebody 2 to 3 years ahead of schedule. Because everything operates on schedules. This is where we think the salary cap is going to be. This is where we are. This is where we're going to be. This is what the contracts are. So just picking the right people, I guess, is the fear, is what they say. Why don't?
Yeah, I mean, the fear is obviously that it's whether it's injury, whether it's play decreasing, whether it's off the field issues, or you give a guy money and all of a sudden he stops working as hard or whatever that may be.
Oh, fat pockets.
Like, it might be those. But, again, we're paying these guys no matter what. Like guys are getting paid across this league, whether it's with your team, whether it's someone else. At some point, you're paying the piper. You can point to a handful of deals that didn't work out, obviously, where the guy got big money. And you had, Albert Hainsworth is one that always goes back to. But
no, it doesn't anymore. It goes back to one guy.
Who's that?
Now it goes back to one guy. He plays quarterback.
Yeah. You know him.
He did play quarterback very good at one point.
In the land.
When you were playing.
Yeah, when you were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be considered the deal that
Yeah.
no, can't do.
Yeah.
230 of them.
That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
You got to not only pay for what that player has done, but what you project them to do. So that's why when you get players, especially once you start getting around that 30 mark, a lot of these people who just crunch numbers and they might not necessarily know ball or know your work ethic or know your offseason and how you train, all these different things, they make those decisions like, hey, he's at this point, let somebody else pay him or overpay him. And you got to be in a position where you got to, and if you're wrong, which it does happen, you know, you're going to be asked, you're going to be there to cash.
Well, and even like the message to your own locker room, but like also a message to the league. Like if you're a free agent and you're deciding between Philadelphia and Cincinnati and you're thinking about, hey, which team is going to reward me when I go there and play super well, you're not going to think the Cincinnati Bengals because of what has happened. And even for like A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown gets traded to Philly. They pay him a bunch of money, and then they give him an extension. Devontae Smith, they paid before. Like all those, top teams that are competing, Chiefs, Eagles, Lions, like those three teams pay guys before damn near anybody else.
Yeah, and they're doing well. It feels like you can get into a rhythm. They paid Patrick Mahomes massive deal early. They can play with that contract now. Travis Kelce has got another deal. It's like all the teams that are good are seemingly ahead of schedule. They kind of know what's going on. They can forecast what's going to happen. All the people that are just trying to kind of hang on, seems like it doesn't always work out.
Quarterback.
Yeah, you got to have a quarterback. Yeah, it all starts there. But we're looking at the Bengals right now with the situations that they're in. Like they missed the playoffs. Like you have one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. That's the gold ticket. That's the golden goose. That's the asset that you need to make everything else fall into place. They just weren't able to make everything else fall into place yet.
Do you have any questions for J.J. Watt? All you got to do is head over to X and use the hashtag AskJ.
Yeah.
Hashtag AskJ, and that actual picture of J.J. Watt will be a part of answering your question. Now, if you make it good, there's a better chance it's going to make the program. Shitty questions don't get asked, but there's no such thing as a bad question. There are certainly dumb ones, though.
Certainly.
And you should know that.
Jage, in your opinion, with the Trey Hendrickson situation, I don't think he really is like this as a person, but do you think it would service him a little bit better if he was maybe like a little bit more of a prick? Because he's been so amicable the whole time. Like I said it a couple weeks ago, like it's kind of the basketball Squeak Scolari situation where he basically said like, hey, listen, if you guys rip on me 16 or 17 more times, like I'm out of here. I'm done doing this. Like, and again, he's a God-fearing man. We've had him on. Like, it doesn't seem like that's really his MO, but do you think that's part of it too? The ownership's like, well, like we can kind of push this guy around because everything we've done, like he's kind of been okay with it. His stance hasn't changed at all.
I mean, you also have to look at it a little bit like the Tyrese Halliburton situation. Small market. He's been playing phenomenal football for years. I mean, led the league in sacks and those things, but he doesn't have the national star power that some of these other guys have from bigger markets, bigger cities, or more talkative, boisterous personalities, things like that. So then, yeah, like you said, it almost puts you back in that little box where the ownership can say, well, he's not going to make us think about it. Why wouldn't we keep doing that? I think that's probably part of the reason that he's been talking as much as he has lately and trying to lay it out. It's such a hard spot as a player because I fully understand. Fans are sitting there like, you're complaining when they're offering you $25 million. You're complaining when they're offering you $30 million. How could you ever complain about that?
Agreed.
We get it. We understand.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's insane. This is all nuts. But it's business, and that's how this whole thing works. So Trey wants to sit there, and he wants to lay everything out for the fans. He wants to say, this is exactly what they told me that they would do, and they have now not followed through with that. So what do you expect me to do? I'm coming here just to let you know what I'm going through so you don't think I'm some selfish bastard trying to get my money. Like, I'm just trying to follow through with what they told me they would do. But then you go out and say that, and now people are like, look at this guy.
This guy.
Look at this guy. This piece of shit.
Look at
This
this guy. You're lucky to play football for the Bengals.
And we also don't
I would have loved to play football for the Bengals.
We don't want our guys to give cookie-cutter answers. We don't want our guys to just give the standard press conference lines. But when they do go up there and they tell you exactly what's going on and they say exactly what's happening behind the scenes, all of a sudden we don't like what we hear and this guy's a jerk.
This guy's an asshole.
Distraction. I don't like his negative attitude. They're not going to win with that.
So I hear it. I understand it. It's frustrating, man.
Yeah, you were a man that was a hero in a city and then inevitably had to head to another team. I couldn't even imagine what that was like for you, obviously moving from Houston over there to Phoenix. Obviously your golf game got better over there in Arizona. Saw you playing with those hockey sticks.